Hey, for Sisters Unfiltered, back today we might do 2 episodes today in this little setting. Well, this is the setting every time, but back-to-back episodes.
We're not always here for like 3 hours, so we'll see.
We're just trying to decide just because we have some things coming up and something particular is vacation, which we're going to be talking about a little bit today. But before that, I think we mentioned on our last episode, we would just love it if you guys liked our podcast on all of the places that we have it. Subscribe to it, share it if you can.
Yeah.
That just helps us help other people, hopefully, and get the word out about the podcast. So that would just be so awesome. We really, really appreciate that.
It makes me laugh thinking about us saying this because I remember when Amory and Ella used to make all those videos on our phone, and they did not have a YouTube channel. They would say thumbs up in their cute little voices. Yeah. Thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe,
like below.
Don't thumbs down us. Don't thumbs down. But really,
don't thumbs down us.
Don't thumbs down us, please. If you don't like us, just don't listen. But
write a review, something like that.
Yeah.
That would be great. Just
that would be great. For sure.
We'd greatly appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I think we mentioned on our episode from last week about our boys are graduating. We threw a graduation party.
Yep.
We had a big weekend because I think that was the same weekend we did a grand opening for our brand new church that we are all part of. And then the very next night, we had a grad party, and I was like, am I going to regret this or be so happy? And I'll say on Tuesday morning, I was super happy that
it was all done.
It was all done.
It was all done.
Yes, check off the list. But how did you think the grad party went?
I thought it was great. We hit it early, which was good.
Yeah.
And
in grad season.
In grad
party
season.
Yeah.
Yeah, to have it in April. And I think because of that, you get a good turnout. We did on a Monday night, which was your idea. Mm-hmm. We had people tell us that like Monday night was a brilliant idea.
You're not really competing with anyone else.
Yeah,
and
you don't have to give up your Saturday.
Yeah, and those parties are mostly come and go, so you don't have to feel like you've have to go for 4 hours.
Yeah, and so on a Monday night, it's easy. Like if you want to eat here, you have dinner taken care of, and then you could come and hit it up. And I thought it was great.
We had so many people. I don't know how many.
No, it was a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
What do you think were like the hits?
The hits.
Just for people for future. If they're
yes. Okay, so I don't have experience with grad parties like Ashley does. So she has lots of experience with grad parties. So I do think that the golf simulator was a hit.
Yes.
We had a golf simulator.
Did we talk about that last time? I can't remember.
I don't remember if we did either.
Yeah.
One thing that Ashley and I have learned just hosting a lot of things is make it simple.
Yes.
No, like we tried to stay away from having to have forks and spoons and all the things, right? Because when you have forks and spoons, it means you have food for forks and spoons, which is fine if it's not like a ton of people. If it's a lot of people.
If you're going close to 100 people, which is I think where we were at or more, then you want to be careful. Like, I don't know. For us, we just want to keep it simple. People are here to talk to each other. Yeah. For the most part, hang out. And celebrate the people that are there and eat. And it's so keeping it simple.
Keeping it simple and not messy is best. Also, if it's at your house, because then you're not dealing with as much of a cleanup. So,
but Derek had the idea of the golf simulator, which a lot of people are like, I've never ever seen this at any party.
I've had a couple of people ask me for the link to that place because they've never seen that. Yes. And it was brilliant.
It was a great idea. The weather was great, so that helped. It wasn't so hot. This has definitely been the coolest weather in all the grad seasons that I've been a part of. This is my fourth son to graduate. Yeah. And then I thought also we got these sliders.
Yes, we did.
From this place called Hat Creek that might only be in Austin or I think it is.
Texas. Or Texas,
and they're like these little sliders and people just loved them. I didn't even get one.
I had one and it was so good. Yeah. I was shocked. There was nothing to them. There was not cheese on them. No, it was very simple. Y'all. So good. I was like, people were saying how good they were, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then when I wasn't gonna eat, and then when I saw there was some left, I was like, well, I'll eat one. So good.
I thought they were reasonably priced too.
Yeah.
So I was like, great.
Yeah.
We also did. I thought this was a hit too. We did This was Lindsay's idea to do root beer and Coke floats. Yeah. And I don't know why people just loved that.
They loved it.
My dad was like in heaven.
They had like multiple. Yeah. Like people had more than one, and I saw
this pictures. It's just kind of different.
It is different. It's not cake. It's not it's not cake.
Cookies,
it's not cookies.
Yeah.
And it was like we just put out. I had it kind of cute.
Yeah, very cute.
And then like half gallons sitting in like ice, so like they don't melt. And then people could scoop it themselves. And I got these cute little cups and straws. And then we have root beer and Coke, Coke Zero, root beer Zero, wherever you wanted to go. people loved it.
And it was
I had
so good.
1 half gallon left.
Yeah.
And even that had been opened.
Yeah.
So I bought 6 half gallons, if that tells you anything.
Yeah.
It's a lot of ice cream.
Yes.
And it worked.
Yeah.
So that was a hit. And then we laughed because our boys have, they have been doing this, you know, this thing called LT Collective out here in Lake Travis. They put on pretty much a full-on service, student-led at the high school once a Sunday.
Yeah. I don't think we've ever talked about it.
No, I don't think we have either.
Yeah.
Ashley's son Sam is the one who really came up with it and felt led to start it a few years ago. And they do it once a month this year. Last year they did it every Sunday. And our boys have been a part of it, setting up, tearing down, everything. And so we were cracking up because they borrowed all this games from LT Collective. And they just all know to hop to it and set it all up. And it was like, they didn't ask us to do anything. They had 9 square.
Our kids know how to set up everything.
They know how to set up everything, being a part of so much things. So I don't know if you guys have heard of 9 square, but it's like this big thing that you set up. They had 9 square out there. They had cornhole. They helped with the
drinks and the ice.
Yes. And then
I had them picking things up. I'm like, can you pick up the balloons?
Yeah. Parker picked up all the ice.
Yeah. Yeah.
My cousin Stephanie said when she saw my picture on Instagram, she said, "Of course y'all have 9 square." I said, "No, that's not our 9 square." She was like, "Of course y'all have 9 square." It works. Like stuff like that. I don't think you have to make grad parties like we didn't have a lot of decorations.
No.
We did have Card My Yard out front, which that was shout out to Card My Yard in Lake Travis. Yes. They did a great job.
It was so great.
Huge sign.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it was the easiest, maybe because it was the 4th one I've done. But even I was comparing it to like 16-year-old birthday parties. We do big ones also. And I don't know, it was just such an easy party.
It really was so easy.
It was so fun.
I
loved it.
So happy. I'm actually happy it's done.
Yes.
Just to have it like, okay, we did it. Mm-hmm. Now my boys are going to 4 grad parties on Saturday.
Yes.
4 grad parties, so pretty much the grad party season is here.
Oh yeah.
But we kind of hit it a little early, so it was nice.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
They had a great time.
They had so much fun, and then a bunch of their friends stayed and hot tubbed and fire pit fun things afterwards. So
and then the very next week we had prom.
Yes, we did. Then we had prom. That was also at my house.
Yes, that was fun too.
That was fun, and went and took pictures, and they all came back here and hung out. And I'm like. It's my oldest, and so I'm like curious what this will look like from now on. Like, will Parker and Micah, because they were so close, my boys, will they be like kind of the biggest, like have the most friend group here?
Yeah, well, because they have the same friends.
I
don't know. Your girls are so close in age. They might have the same friend group.
They might.
I don't know.
Like, they might. Yeah. So, like, I don't know if this is like we're going to look back at this time and be like, oh my gosh, remember when Parker had all his friends? Because you had a lot more friends come and hang out at our house than like I did or even Wade did. And so, like, I don't know if that's how it's going to go. My girls are super close in age. I would love if they were like that. And then my boys did tell me this. I said, Parker, because he was like, can everybody spend the night after prom? And I said, why? That's fine. Like, let me just say this. I love their friends being here. Yeah. They are no problem to me at all. However, I did say, why is it always at our house? And he goes, because we're not allowed to spend the night anywhere. Yes. And he's like,
if the group went to the night anywhere, Grayson and Parker would be able to go.
Yeah, so they have to do it at our house because Grayson and Parker want them to spend the night. And I was like, yeah, that's a very valid point. Yeah. And so I was like, so maybe it will be us actually for the next several years because I'm not gonna let my kids spend the night anywhere. So
I saw this funny TikTok the other day that was like May is like December. And they're like, why did everyone collectively get together and be like, let's put as many things in May as we have in December, and also the cost of it and everything. And it was so funny.
It really is true.
Because it was so true.
It is true.
Yeah.
It is true.
You start paying for things that are like not only summer camps. That
starts in August. Yeah. You have to start paying for these for August.
Yeah.
You also have all like the choir performances. Mm-hmm. So you have the Christmas
school
ones and you have
parties,
the spring ones. You have the school parties.
The graduation.
The
get together.
The awards. Like it is so much stuff. I will say I'm glad we graduated out of elementary school because it has created way more time for me. Like I'm not going to middle school.
The field trips. Field trips. It's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. So thank goodness. Once your kids graduate out of elementary school, you're not dealing with that stuff as much because the field trip parents don't go on to middle school.
Yes.
the parties and all that they don't come to. But it is a lot.
It's a lot. And maybe we feel that way because we have so many kids.
And true. And graduation really does put like a whole nother level. Like
another layer.
Totally told Derek today about how much gifts we have spent. How much money we've put towards graduation
gifts. I just bought 2 more gifts.
I bought
Target
4 more today.
I was ahead of the game and ordered things and had things monogrammed and all this stuff. And Grayson keeps adding to my list.
I have 3 girl gifts sitting in my closet, and I just bought 3 more, and I have 2 gift cards sitting in my. And I think Parker's been a couple of parties that he didn't have a gift for, which I'm like, Parker,
I know
you can't do that.
That's
like,
what I tell my
you
boys.
got to go back and give those people a gift card.
Yes. I found gifts in Blake's car after graduation season that he had forgotten to take in. And I made him go and drop them all off.
Yes, I bought Parker a box of thank you cards today.
Yes.
To write thank you cards to all the people who gave him gifts. Yeah. So I'm like, oh wow, this is a lot to nail down.
So we're getting there. But
and then getting all the I'm getting emails from Lee because of Parker just now kind of doing some things, and I'm like, wow, this is real.
It is real.
It's real.
It's really fun.
It is fun.
Okay, so today we thought we would talk about something that's a little bit, could be unique, maybe not, depends on your family, I think. But we are going to talk about vacationing with a big family. And when we say big family, we mean my brother and his family, Lindsey and I and our families, and our parents.
Yes.
And we've been doing this forever, as long as I can remember. My really first memory of it though was when Jax and Parker and Grayson were
babies. They were not even 1. No, they were
Jax wasn't even 1 yet. They were babies.
Yeah, they were babies.
Nobody was 1.
Gray was born in May. We went on vacation that summer.
Yes. Oh, that's true.
So they were very little. They were very little.
Yes. So
and we have
what did we do before that? I mean, we've been on vacations because remember we used to go to our Linda's condo.
There was a gap there where we couldn't vacation at the same time. Us and Wade and Dad because of the business.
Okay.
So I think that's probably somewhere along, but that would have been after that.
Yeah, this was before, and it wasn't after that because we went every year.
There was a year that we didn't go. I don't think because I remember going to Poor Day.
Yes, that's true.
Poor Day.
Well, before that, we did go on vacations together. We've always done a summer vacation.
And Blake's was Sam's little birthday.
Yes,
or Blake
that was our Linda's condo.
It was.
Or we would all squeeze in.
Yeah.
But really, I think that was like the year we started going to 30A, which is where our family has been vacationing now for the boys are 18.
Yeah, and before that, we vacationed growing up all in Florida, and so.
Yeah. So as the family has grown, we all vacation together. People think it's funny because literally where we, in our community, we all live within about 5 to 8 minutes of each other. And yet we drive 12 to 13 hours to vacation in Florida every year. And mainly it's because that's where we grew up vacationing. We love it there because it's so familiar. In our opinion, Texas beaches aren't quite the same.
Yes.
Or the area. So we just it feels like home going back. There's a lot of people that vacation there from Tennessee and Georgia, Alabama, the Southeast, and now it's here south. Now there are a lot of Texans that go there too, which is fun. But so every single year we go there, and it kind of we've moved around the time of year that we go. The time of summer.
Yes.
We used to start in August.
I loved it. I loved going in August. It was off season, so it was cheaper.
It was cheaper. School had started back for the Southeast. And our kids weren't quite in school yet. No. Even when they started going back to school, we still let them miss. Like, I remember a week, like, my kids would miss the first week of school.
My kids have never had to miss because your kids probably started that.
Yes.
But even when we did it when my kids started, we would push it pretty close.
Yes, close
so this
to
was,
that going back.
Highly recommend this, actually.
Yes, me too.
Because it's cheaper because you're going in off season. And most people are either the Southeast schools are already back in session. In Texas schools, if they're older, they're back because they have sports they're already back to, even though the schools haven't started. Yes. So you could really get a really good deal.
That is true.
On a beach house.
The only down to that is that you have to wait all summer.
You have to wait all summer. But really, if you have toddlers, there's no difference anyways.
Yeah.
Not really.
I guess. Yeah.
You don't really experience that until really your kids get in elementary school.
Yes. Yeah. And so now fast forward, just talking about timing, we go the first week that they're out of school.
And that's new.
And that's new because of everyone's camp schedule, college schedule, work schedule. So now so far, I guess we've done this.
This is like our second year.
This is our second year. Yeah. We've landed that this is the week we're going to go every year, so everyone's on the same page.
Yes. We moved, at first it was August, then we moved it to July.
Yeah.
And now we're in June.
Yes, May 31st.
May 31st, actually. So, like, first week of June.
Yeah, first week of June.
Yeah.
So that's because that's like before all the things start and everybody can go at that time. So we all, I mean, where do we want to start? There's probably a lot to say. We all stay in the same house.
Yep.
That's
we all
one
stay
thing.
in the same house.
We've done that forever.
Yeah.
We know that might change in the future just because
it will.
of people getting married and kids, and we're going to figure that out. We've already had lots of conversations about it, so we'll see what happens. If you have any suggestions, put them in the chat.
Yeah.
But what else? What else do we do that people would like to know about vacationing with a big family?
So one thing I think,
or friends. This could be friends too.
Yeah, it could be friends, but this is just family is a little bit of a different dynamic to me because they're family.
Yeah.
And conversations that have to happen and all of that. So, okay, a couple things let's talk about what makes it work.
Okay.
I say what makes it work? Why do you think, because I have a feeling some of you are like, there's no way I could do this.
Yes.
And probably if you're saying that, you might not be able to.
But we do.
Depending.
I mean, think about it. We have 22 of us.
Yeah.
Lots of different personalities. So
yes.
It's not like everyone
Keep
has
this
the
in
same
mind.
personality.
No.
And we all do things the same all the time.
No. Yeah.
But why do you think it works?
So, number one, we said this about our family. We communicate a lot.
Yes.
So, we don't say everything we're feeling at all times, but if it's something that is a big enough issue for our family to be able to operate together when we're on vacation together in the same house, or when we're having meals together at my, dad and mom's house, the kids growing up, we communicate. Yeah. My mom and dad have always communicated.
Well, they've had to have set that.
They set that precedent. I know. They set that precedent.
So, my mom was a planner.
Yeah.
For sure.
Planning helps.
Uber planner. So that helps.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
So a lot of pre-talking before vacation happens. So most years, we would rent our house almost a year in advance.
Yes. So
we knew the dates and we knew the house we were going to.
Yeah, because you can't wait. With that big of a family, you cannot wait, right? Yes. Also, that changes from when your kids are babies and they need to be in your room or you want a closet big enough for them to be in a pack and play.
We had a pack and play in the bathroom, in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Then those early years.
Yes. And then as your family grows, all of that changes over time. You can't stay. Yes. You're being so unrealistic if you think you and your kids are all going to have your own rooms. I mean, if you're in a big family, that's so unrealistic. Go ahead and know right now you're going to be shoving.
You have a lot of money. And
that's right.
I don't know.
You might have a lot of money and you can do that. But that's not something that we've always been able to do. And I feel like financially we're doing okay right now. So you need to go ahead and get in your head there is going to be flexibility. Yes. There has to be flexibility. But I do think the key is that one thing my mom and dad have always been good about is communicating things. So we all knew that this is a joint effort.
Yes.
Right?
This is the biggest thing. That makes it work from year to year.
All of us know, I don't know, it's just amazing. It has to be the Lord and Mom's prayers. But us, Wade and Kimberly, Ashley and Jeremy have always, in my personal opinion, I'm the youngest, so who knows if I've done this, have always been, I think, pretty good at doing our part.
Yeah. You have to.
If you're not, somebody might say something.
Yes.
But like our part, like there's not one of us that disappears for hours on end and doesn't without their kids and goes somewhere else. Yeah. There's not one of us that doesn't clean up after themselves. Yes. We all make our kids clean up. Even now, we will all rotate by just naturally and be like, hey, Parker, Micah, go take the trash out. Or hey, Grayson or Jack, we're telling our own kids, go take the trash out, right? Like we're cleaning the kitchen up.
Yes.
We are
all sharing cooking.
All sharing cooking.
Yes.
That's another thing.
One thing about food, should I go into this?
Like, you can go
we prepare, usually the nights we're going to eat at home on our way to the beach. Mm-hmm. We text. Yes, we have a text thread. Some nights we go out to eat, not all of us together. That also we used to, but the bigger we've gotten, we don't necessarily do that. No. Now we can go just adults and kids can just do their own thing, which is great. But we text about food,
make a grocery list.
On a grocery list, get the grocery order, or go there the very next morning. All the girls go. Get all the groceries. We all split.
We split it evenly. Doesn't matter that it's just mom and dad or just dad and Sharon.
Yes.
Doesn't matter that Wade and Kimberly have 3 kids and we have 5. Yeah. It's just never been a thing. Yes. It's just we split it. It's just easier to split it. What is that? 4 ways.
Yeah.
So because you start nickeling and diming and all that, it just gets too sticky, right?
Yeah. So we get all the groceries and we bring it back. Sometimes during the week, you run out of bread, you run out of milk, whatever, and somebody will go and get it. They just keep their receipt, and at the end of the week, we just settle up.
Yes.
And that's pretty much on everything.
Yes.
Even the cost of the house before we've done that, or cleaning service, or whatever.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then when we bring our groceries back, all the kids, since they could walk practically, help unload. There's not and of course sometimes now that our kids are older, they're not all there.
Yes.
And that's fine. We're not calling them all in there and being all strict, but we're like, whoever's at the house, you're gonna help us unload, right? Because that's just how it is.
Yeah.
And then I think that is, to me, like the biggest thing that I hear of people who vacation with large families where it can get sticky is one sibling who expects everyone else to keep their kids and they go off and do things by themselves. Or one sibling who doesn't share cleaning up, cleaning the kitchen, or cooking. Those to me tend to be like the stickier situations, like that can get real annoying after a while. You cannot do that. If you want this to work, we all have to be considerate of each other and really step in and do things.
Yes. And because of it, gosh, we've had, I think if you ask the kids, and even myself, honestly, some of the best memories at the beach.
It's creating peace in the household. Yeah. And listen, they're not all perfect. I mean, we've had some vacations better than others. We used to have so many, 13 kids. They were little. They would fight and leave each other out and all the things. And, and us adults have gotten frustrated with each other. We're not saying that it's like peaceful at all times, but the fact that we know we can go and we know we're all going to pitch in and we know that we're not going to be left high and dry, taking on all the responsibility. We've never put it on our mom to take on all the responsibility. We will not do that. No. It's not fair to her, even if she wanted to do that. Like, I think that tends to be my dad's wife's, Sharon's personality more. She's a helper. She loves to do that. We are not going to get her to do. We want her to enjoy her vacation too. Yeah. It's not fair to her to expect that.
And sometimes it's more of us having a pre-conversation, like Wade and Lindsay and I with my dad, or just Wade and Lindsay and I, and then we're like, okay, we decided this. So like, for example, we decided that like kids don't eat at the table. The adults sit there first.
We did.
And we just kind of made it a thing where
dinner,
kids usually get their food first just because we want them kind of to get out of the kitchen, and they get their food, and then we're like, you can't sit at the kitchen table.
No, there's an island.
Yes.
Outside. There's
outside.
There's a card table they can sit at, but the adults get to sit at the table. There's not enough room for all the kids. And some of y'all would be absolutely appalled by that. You would think that is so rude, and I'm like, it's not rude. I paid for this.
But again, if that's your preference or not, it doesn't matter. It's just that we talked about it before.
That's right.
So we were all on the same page.
There's a lot of talking about, like, when we made the decision that no one could come unless they were engaged. Like, those were conversations we had several years ago and made that decision. I just think the communication is key.
It is.
So I do think if you're in a family and your parents are not big at communicating, that's going to make it harder. Yeah. It just is, because there's a lot of different personalities. Another thing that I think really worked for us is that when my mom was alive, my mom was type A to the core. I don't care if there's dishes in the sink overnight. I will wash them the next day. Mom cared. So Derek and I, one of us, was washing our dishes at night. We would not, because we knew she cared. We were not going to leave those dishes overnight. Mom cared, she cared about all the things clean-wise. Yes. But we would sweep. We would do things that would bother Derek and I, because definitely Derek's more laid back. I mean, we're clean people, but those things don't bother us much. But because we knew that it might bother Mom or someone else, I feel like all of us are good about really trying to be considerate of that.
Yes. And then we had some things that are traditional that we do for the week, and some things where there's a lot of freedom. So, for instance, some of us work out daily or not daily. Some of us don't. We're like, if anybody wants to go, we're going to work out, and you go. If you don't want to, you don't.
It's okay.
But there's some things that we do traditionally. One is our wiffle ball game that we do every single year as a family, have been doing it forever, and everyone participates.
Yes, and they have so much fun, and they think that we're going to do it every time we're in Florida, and sometimes I'm like, okay, this isn't like our summer trip, so we're not going to like do a wiffle ball game. But it is for sure a tradition that we don't break. every year. Yeah. We do a wiffle ball game.
And we all have different places that we love. Some of them are the same to go eat. So sometimes one of us might go eat there one night, the other one doesn't. That's very fluid and open to whoever wants to do what. Some people are watching TV, some people are taking a nap, some people are at the beach, some people are at the pool. What I love about this trip more than vacation, really, I don't even call it a trip. My favorite thing about vacation, same place every year as a family, is that it is relaxing.
It is very relaxing.
You know the area. Your kids know the area. You're not, like when I go on a trip, I'm kind of psycho. I want to go experience everything from sun up to sun down because I'm like, what if I don't come back here? Got to fit it all in. And this is my favorite vacation because we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just so comfortable. It's almost like a second home in a way. Just being able to kind of go and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know?
And so I just think that and again, everybody's personality is different, but I think what you have to do, because actually I think our personalities tend to be not go with the flow as much than it does go with the flow. But I think that we've learned that on this trip, you can't be controlling. And that's another thing I see.
Oh, yeah.
With families that they want everyone to go to the beach at the same time. They want everyone to have dinner at the restaurant, even though it's chaotic. They want everyone. You can't do that. Yes. There's got to be some freedom to say, what do we all want to do collectively?
Yes. Or some of us are going to go do this.
That's right. And that's why we plan ahead of time. Okay. We always have a way that we handle it the day that we get there. We always have a plan. And it's Saturday we're going to do this. Sunday, almost every other day, it's either we all choose Fend for Yourself night, which is families can go out to dinner however they want to, or it is the other night is cook at the house, which is we're going to do taco night, we're going to do spaghetti night. One night Sharon says she wants to cook something. It's and whoever cooks, the opposite cleans. The people who don't cook clean. Yeah. It's just one of those things where I think if you go ahead and kind of develop those, habits now when you vacation with a big family, again, just creates a much smoother.
Yes.
Just everything is more smooth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have flexibility. You have some nights where it's go do whatever you want. Yeah. Then you have some nights where it's oh, cool, we're all going to cook together.
Yes. Yeah. It is. And one thing that we do too is we all drive to the beach for the most part. You can fly if you want to. And one family's flying this year, but the rest of us are driving. But we're used to it. Our kids are used to driving, sitting in the car for
long periods of time.
A long period of time. And your kids can do it. You don't have to. You might not like it. Some people don't like a road trip like that. I'm used to it, so I'm just we do it.
We started going when Abby Kate was a baby.
Oh, yeah.
Brand new baby.
Yes. My kids don't even know any different.
No, I have pictures of her in her car seat. I was still nursing her, and we drove 12, 13 hours. And it's never has it not happened since then.
Yes.
So they're used to it. They're excited. Sometimes we break it up. Sometimes we like to leave on Friday. Spend the night somewhere just for fun, get close to the beach. And then we're not driving it in one day on Saturday, but that's not because we won't drive in one day. That's because we just like to do that. Yes. Every time we come home, we drive it in one day and we're done.
And it's funny, we used to flip, when our kids were little, we hated the beach. It was way too much trouble with all the little kids.
And the sand and the waves
and stuff. And so we spent a lot of time at the pool. We would choose houses that had this awesome pool because we just knew. And now things have flipped a little bit, and I think we spend more time at the beach. Honestly. We do both.
We spend more time at the beach.
The kids like to play spike ball. They like to be at the beach more.
And we're open now. Our kids are old enough to where they can go back to the house.
Oh yes.
We don't have to be with them. We don't have to make sure they're going. They're like, can we go back to the house? I'm like, yeah, just go back to the house. Bye. Yeah. It's a lot more freedom.
Yes.
When it comes to that stuff too. So
and then there's some random one-off things we do, like spike ball tournaments, and I think we did a bonfire one year. And those aren't things that we not everything we do we say, oh, we have to do this every single year.
No.
But there are some things
We've had handstand contests. Yes. We've had we did a obstacle course.
Yes. Yeah.
We just do things that are fun. There's treats that we do that we bring just on the beach, just for the beach. Yeah. And our family loves homemade ice cream. Yeah. I don't know if we've ever talked about that.
No.
Mom made homemade ice cream since we were little bitty. Yeah. So we have kept that tradition alive. We always do homemade ice cream at the beach.
Yeah. We usually always have a celebration of some sort, either a birthday or something.
Yeah, we do.
When we're there.
Something there. And so, but I definitely think what is key is communication.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's communication before the actual trip, and maybe even at the end. Like we talked a little bit, I'm trying to think this last time, I think my brother was like, I don't feel like we had enough protein or whatever with the food. And so I thought about that. I'm like, okay, we need to make sure we have enough. And he's probably right. The kids are eating so much more and, whatever. So it's just like, you can always kind of like ebb and flow and kind of change what you want to do. But we've done this traditionally for a long, long time. Yeah. And it kind of works.
It does work.
It does work. And I think I know it's my kids, one of their favorite things. They look forward to it every single year.
Oh, absolutely. And so here's the thing. Derek's family has vacation together forever. Same 2 weeks now, every summer. And theirs was not in a house. Theirs was in like a condominium. And they all had like different condos, and some of the families would share, some of them wouldn't. And then now they still do the condos, but his aunt and uncle own a beach house there. But so the adults stay in the beach house, adult kids now, if you will, now go and stay in the condos during 1 week out of those 2 weeks. And it's so cool. I've learned a lot from them. Yeah. Because I've seen them do it for so many years.
I don't think I knew, I'm trying to think. I don't know if I knew anyone that did this before.
I know.
Or I didn't pay attention if they did.
And so I've learned from them a lot. I've only been on that vacation a few times, but I've learned a lot from them and watched them evolve and change. And like, now, I will say, their beach is much closer to where most of them live than it is where we all live. Most of them only live like 4 hours from where they go to the beach. And there's a couple of them that are out of town like Derek is. We do not go on their beach trip every year. But it's pretty cool to see like them walk down the road of adult kids because we're going down that road. And so like, and Derek was their oldest on that side, the second oldest. And so it's cool to see that kind of, I've been able to watch and see kind of how they've done it. And I like that because they've been able to keep the tradition going.
Yes.
They've been able to keep it like some adult kids are able to come in half the week and some have to leave because of work. But no matter what, that week never changes.
And we had this conversation recently with our dad, and Wade and Lindsey and I with our dad about kind of what was important to us as the kids are getting older, as things have changed, because things are going to change. It's inevitable. Yeah. You don't expect things like that to change, like my mom passing away and stuff like that. But then you have to have more conversations. Welcome to that. And we said that beach vacation, and another time that we talked about, but that beach vacation was important to us. That we, as much as we can, all be there. Yeah. If you can. Absolutely. And that it was going to traditionally stay that. Yeah. And who can be there, amazing. And if you can't, you can't.
But the adults will always be there.
Try to be intentional.
We will always be there, and it will be a constant time, consistent, familiar. And if when our kids are older and graduate and all the things, they can come.
Yeah. But you might be thinking, like, I don't want to do that with my family right now, like my extended family, but you might want to start this tradition with your own kids.
That's right.
So hopefully if that can help someone and they're like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Because I think you just have to be we talked about this so many times in different episodes about just the intentionality of relationships with your family, with your kids, with your parents, with your parents, with your kids. Yeah. That relationship. And it really is intentionality and communication.
For sure. It is. I mean, it's just like you saying that you told, Sam and Eden to bring a dish for Easter.
Yes.
Like
I just said, what do you bring?
What do you bring? Like there wasn't like, it wasn't rude, it wasn't that, but it was like, we have to teach our kids, be intentional with them. And like the older they get, we have to teach them to do those kind of things, and it's like, but that's what makes things work is when we all pitch in. Yes. It's not that I can't do it all. It's that I'm not teaching my kids anything if I'm not teaching them how to do some things.
And like, I just see the benefits of it. Like the boy cousins are so close. And I do believe so much of that has been from this. There are other things too, but the intentionality of the beach vacation. where they spend this concentrated amount of time with one another for like a week.
Yeah.
You know,
So
they do all kinds of stuff. They go now and do their own thing. They have movies at night that they watch while we're already asleep. And I mean, they tell us stories and all kinds of things from the beach where they're like, okay, we didn't even know that happened. But nothing bad, just stuff where they're connected.
It's so true. Another thing is that what they've learned is, and I saw this with Derek's family too, is we didn't have enough beds for all of them.
Oh yeah.
Or the girls. They alternate sleeping on the floor.
Yes, they do.
Like,
yes, they
when we all pitched in one week to get my dad's beach house ready to be rented, they pitched in too.
Oh, yeah.
They laugh about it now because they're like, we thought we were going for a vacation and instead we all worked. And I'm like, yes, you did. Like, we all pitch in. Yes. We all learn how to like be flexible. Yes. And I think that really builds character. Yeah. Again, that doesn't mean your kid have to sleep on the floor every time, which I've multiple times where we've been in a beach house where 3 of my kids have been on the floor.
Right.
In my room.
Right. Yes.
This isn't like a romantic vacation for Derek and I.
Yeah.
This is a family vacation, you know? But yeah.
I guess then you just have to say, like, is it worth it? You know, like, always.
Absolutely. I think the bond and I saw it with Derek's family. Like, the connections, the memories, the bond they create in that is something that keeps them in relationship, because Derek doesn't live anywhere close to them anymore, but like he still texts them and talks to them some, and I'm like, that wouldn't be there if you don't spend that time with each other. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it is, even if it's just your family right now, going off on vacation is so important, because it might be a headache for you and your spouse for sure, but the bond that you create in those memories, like
the work is worth it.
The work is worth it. And over time, also, some of you don't vacation with your kids when they're little. I understand. They're still going to have to learn how to vacation at some point. Like, they're going to have to learn to be together. They're going to have to learn flexibility. They're going to have to learn some things at some point. I get it sometimes when they're really little. But anyways, is there anything else with that?
No, I just wanted to, I thought that was a great topic.
I think it's a great topic.
Like, just again, we're not like perfect at it. We just have a lot of experience.
We have a lot of experience. And we have a lot of experience cooking for big families.
And we haven't just always gone to the beach, by the way. That's just our traditional. We've done skiing. We've done
California.
And you know what? They weren't always great.
California was a little bit of a bust, okay?
California was a bust. And we have some stories like that, but that's what makes memories.
We all laugh about it. Every single one of us, even the kids, still talk about when we went to California and how it was raining and it was like a little bit of a bust and we were all sick and it was just not great. But you know what? We did it. And we had fun-ish, and now we laugh about it. We do. So it's worth it. It's so worth it. So
I know. I hope that, I love it so much. I hope that my kids continue it and that I just keep on doing family vacation every year together,
Me too. I'm super excited.
So do you have a question for me?
Yeah, so my question of the day, week, whatever you want to say, is going to be, what is your favorite piece of jewelry?
Oh.
Kind of like maybe not favorite somewhere. Like, what do you, like a staple piece that you want to wear, you feel like you find yourself wearing it?
I wear my gold bracelets all the time. I've been wearing these for years. I don't even know how long.
Mom got those for me.
I don't remember.
Did she get those for you?
Maybe. I'd have had them forever. I wear the Dukes. There's real ones. It's called Buddha bracelets. But I wear the Dukes from Amazon, and I send out that to so many people as well. And I literally have had them for years, and I wear them probably almost every day. But they're waterproof, sweatproof, whatever. And I just like them. I love, like, a lot of bracelets and stuff.
Yeah, they're very cute.
I mean, it's you ask that question and sometimes it's like, oh, my engagement ring or whatever.
Yeah.
But besides that,
I don't mean that.
Yes, something that I wear every day are going to be my bracelets, my Apple Watch.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I wear something like every single day, besides probably like my second earrings right here, my second hole. But this charm necklace.
Yes, you've loved it. I'm so glad.
I got this charm necklace at our women's conference, which is so random, but great idea, by the way, for putting on a women's conference. Like, they had a girl come in who did permanent jewelry, but she also brought charms and did charm bracelets and necklace. It was a hit. There were so many people in line. I think the girl was shocked.
Oh, yes.
I think she got more business than she thought she would ever get.
It was such a hit.
So I had actually been wanting a charm necklace for like a couple years because I'd seen this girl post about it, and I've looked up places here, but never really found anything. And when I saw that, and you were with me, and I was like, okay, let's go pick out a charm necklace.
Yeah.
I love it.
Every day
I get so many compliments on it.
Yes. I like it.
I actually have a lot of people be like, hey, like, I love your necklace, you know? It might be a trend. I understand that.
But right now,
for right
that's what
now,
you're loving.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, and I did get my third hole piercings by my friend. My best friend Robin came over, and it was actually very funny because I texted her because I knew she was home, and I was like, hey, is there any chance you would want to come over and pierce my third hole for me? Because I have an ear piercing done. If you know, if you've listened, you know this.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, hang on. And she comes over and she pierces my ears, and she didn't have second holes. And I was like, do you want me to do yours? And I did hers. And then we were cracking up because 2 reasons. One, she told her husband, I'm going to HEB, which she was. But then she comes back with ear piercing.
Yeah. And he noticed, which is so shocking to me. I'm like, I am impressed that he noticed. I did not think Jeremy would notice.
Oh no, I don't think Derek would have either. And then the second thing is we felt like rebellious teenagers that like, you know, like skipped school for the day and went and like got piercings you're not allowed to get, you know?
So funny.
And so we were cracking up about it, but they're a little sore, but I really like them.
Yeah,
they're
good.
super cute.
Y'all be
So,
good.
anyways, but yeah, that's great. But this is all. We hope this was a fun episode. It's a little different, probably a little bit more lighthearted, more practical.
Yeah, you guys might have questions that we didn't think about, so just
send them
let us
our
know.
way.
Yeah,
Comment.
Instagram, TikTok, on the podcast. I don't know.
I think you can comment on Spotify
Okay,
or Apple Podcasts. And we see all of that.
Yeah.
So if we miss it, just DM us.
Yes, we'll
but
respond.
we would love for any questions to be asked so we can actually answer some of your questions and hear from you guys. There's people all the time who tell me they listen to our podcast and I don't even know it.
Same.
And so I would love for y'all to like start.
And then I forget we have a podcast until they're like, oh, listen to your podcast. I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, that's so fun.
I know. So it always like takes me back. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, I didn't. So I don't know because I don't hear from some of y'all. So I'd love to hear from you if you want to ever message us or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We pretty much are open books. We'll tell you everything.
Clearly.
Yeah.
That's why we're unfiltered, right?
Exactly.
I think I'm pushing you out of your filtered shell.
Yes.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.